All right, this next song we're going to do is called 2000 Man by the Rolling Stones. And this is one of my favorite Rolling Stones songs. It's a pretty obscure one. It's off of Their Satanic Majesty's Request. Kind of a cool album name. And I was first introduced to this song by the movie Bottle Rocket, in which Dignan's plans to rob the local cold storage plant are foiled by the police, and there's a great chase scene in and out of the cold storage plant while this song plays, and I always thought that was awesome. Well, I've kind of been obsessed with this song for a while, and there's an acoustic intro, which I believe that Keith Richards plays with a pick, but I thought it would work really well for fingerstyle. Well, after that, the rest of the song is pretty much electric guitar and real rock oriented, but I decided, well, that could probably work for a fingerstyle arrangement too. So I've pretty much arranged this entire song for fingerstyle guitar. And we're going to run through this a little bit differently. Usually we run through the whole thing and then break it down. Well, there's a lot of different parts to this song, so I thought it might be more digestible if we just do a section at a time, break it down, do the next section, break it down, etc. All right, so let's run through the intro first, and then we'll break down the rest of the song. I hope you guys enjoy this one. Okay, here we go. Plastic film, and I'm growing funny flowers in my little windowsill. Don't you know I'm a 2000 man? And my kids, they just don't understand me at all. Well, my wife still respects me. I was having an affair with a random computer. Don't you know I'm a 2000 man? My kids, they don't understand me at all. All right, let's break this down. And now a couple things to be aware of. I'm capoing the second fret so I can sing it. And also it makes some of these stretches a little bit easier as far as this A chord is concerned that we use in the intro. But if you want to play with Mick and Keith on the record, just take your capo off. One thing that's a little bit difficult is the recording is probably about a quarter step sharp. So if you're tuned to 440, you'll probably want to tune it up a little bit higher. Just try and match it with the record if you want to play with them. Okay, let's break this down, and we start off by getting into this A chord. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this phrase here. And what I do is I start off with a pickup, and I'm pinching. Well, first I'm barring my A chord with my index finger in my left hand, strings 2, 3, and 4. And then my right hand, this first pickup is going to pinch string 5, 3, and 2. Yep. Now I'm going to grab fret 3 on the B string. I'm going to grab that with my middle in my right hand. And my middle also comes up in my left hand to grab the 3rd fret as compared to capo. So it's just grabbing that 3rd fret in front of the A chord. Right. Now I do this phrase. Now notice I'm just pinching 2 strings here. Thumb and middle on strings 5 and 2. And I'm hammering my middle finger to my pinky. to start that phrase. Then I'm going to go thumb 1, then thumb 2, thumb, right? So now my second A phrase, I leave my pinky here. I'm going to grip strings 5 and 2 again. Then I let go of my pinky, and then just grab 0 and 3 in my left hand. And then, so 0 and 3 meaning strings 2 and 5. Yeah. And then get rid of my middle finger, get rid of that sus. And then middle thumb to finish out the phrase. Right. So it sounds like this. That's your second measure there. So far we have 1, 2. Right. Now I'm going to do this phrase out of an E chord. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And instead of grabbing an entire E chord, I'm going to pinch strings 1, 2, and 6 with my middle, index, and thumb. Right. Oh, let me fix that a little bit. So I grab strings 1, 2, and 6, all open. Then I'm going to hit my thumb again on the bass. Now I'm going to grab this second fret in my left hand on string 2, then thumb again, and then I'm going to grab fret 3 with my middle finger in my left hand on the B string, and then hit the bass again. So it sounds like this. Right. Now I'm back to my A chord. In order to finish out this phrase, I'm going to pull off 3 to 2. So I'm pinching in my right hand strings 1, 2, and 5. And I have my middle finger here on the 3rd fret and my index on the 2nd fret. And I'm going to pinch those 3 strings and pull off my middle to my index. Right. Then I'm going to start off the same way we did before for those next 2 measures of A, which are exactly the same as the first 2 measures of A. Now I'm going to grip this D chord in my left hand, and I'm going to slide it up a step. So it sounds like this phrase. Right. So I have this D chord. I pinch both these strings, 2 and 3, with my thumb and index. Right. Now I'm going to do thumb, 2, thumb, and then I'm going to grab my index on string 2 and slide back that same shape. Even though I'm sliding back 2 fingers, I'm only playing 1 string. So it sounds like this. Again. Right. Now I'm going to resolve on this A chord here. And I'm just grabbing 2 fingers on strings 2 and 3, and I'm just pinching with my thumb and my index. So it sounds like this. Right. Now I'm going to pick up into our D chord, and we're going to do this phrase. And what I do is I enter into the D chord with a D shape in my left hand, and in my right hand I'm going to pinch strings 2 and 3, then string 1, and now I'm going to do this phrase. And I'm pinching here strings 4, 2, and 1, and I'm going to hammer on in my left hand my middle finger. Then I'm going to do a little Travis picking. Thumb, 2, thumb, 2, thumb. Sorry. Thumb, 2, thumb, 1, thumb. So pinch, thumb, 2, thumb, 1, thumb. Now I'm going to do a similar pinch, but I'm going to hammer on my middle finger to my pinky in my left hand. So I pinch those same 3 strings, 1, 2, and 3, with my middle, index, and thumb in my right hand, and I'm going to hammer on that pinky. Then I'm going to lift off the pinky and do thumb, 2, thumb, 1, thumb. Right. So if I put those together with the pickup, I have 1, 2. 2. Right. Now I'm into an A chord again, and I'm going to do this phrase here. And what I'm doing is I'm just gripping the A chord as a 2-finger chord in my left hand. And in my right, I'm going to pinch strings 1, 2, and 5, right, with middle, index, and thumb. And then I'm going to roll thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb. Pinch, thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb. Now I'm going to get my ring finger involved in my left hand, and I'm going to hammer on very quickly my middle to my ring finger. So I'm going to pinch those same 3 strings, 1, 2, and 5. And then I'm going to go thumb 1, thumb 2, thumb. So same right hand pattern, just a slightly different left hand pattern. Right, so both those together sound like this. Right. Now I'm going to go back into my D chord and the same phrase we already saw before. Then we finish out the line by doing this here. So I'm in an A chord, but I'm only gripping 1 fret on the B string, the 2nd fret. So in my right hand, I pinch strings 1, 2, and 5, and then I hit my thumb again. And then I grab the 3rd fret in my left hand and then pinch strings 1 and 2, bass again, and then 1 and 2 again, back to the 2nd fret, and then bass again, and then I'm just going to strum an E chord with my thumb. So it sounds like this. Right. Now as I go through those next verses, so I do that whole thing instrumentally, and then I go through the verse just doing the same thing. Now, at measures in 12 and 13, where we did this A phrase, Keith does a variation on, let's see, both the verses. Yeah, both verses. And what I'm doing is, I'm doing this variation here. Kind of like, I don't know, sounds like James Taylor to me. So what I'm doing is I'm gripping strings 2, 3, and 5, and I'm gripping that with my middle, index, and thumb. And then I'm going to hit my bass again, grip those same 2 strings, get rid of your middle finger so that your B string is open. So 1, 2, and then bass again, and then pinch again, and then bass again. So that first measure sounds like this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. Then I'm going to hammer on my middle finger again, so I'm just going to pinch these 2 strings, 2 and 3, and then hammer on my middle, and then bass again. Put on the 3rd fret in your left hand with your ring finger, and then back to bass. Get rid of your ring finger on that 3rd fret. Just pinch those 2 strings and then thumb again. So that second half sounds like this. Right. So that's the variation you can use during that verse. Yeah, during the verse. Both verses 1 and 2. All right, that's the whole intro section. Let's break down the chorus. Here we go.